Hello everyone, a very good morning and warm welcome to you dear students to your civics class. Today we'll be studying chapter 5, the state government. Now in this picture you can see that our country has many states, right? Every state has ministers appointed to govern the responsibilities of the state, right students? Now who are they? What works do they do? Let us find out how the Indian state works. Alright, come on, let's find out. Firstly, let's look at the introduction. There will be a video which will play and you have to watch the video and answer the questions. These are the 3 questions. Which are the 2 branches of government? What does the state government do? And who does the state government consist of?
Today we'll learn about central and state governments. Okay, India is a large country. It's the second largest country in population, right? So it is divided into 28 states and 9 union territories. Okay, so it is difficult to govern the entire country from a single center. सिर्फ एक कोई सेंटर पूरे इंडिया को नहीं संभाल सकता. For this reason we have a central government and the state governments. Now central government, the work of central government is to look after the law and order for the entire country. सारे country के law and order देखना. Then members of the central government such as vice president, prime minister, then various council of ministers. Our president is Ramnath Kovind, vice president Venkaiah Naidu, prime minister Shri Narendra Modi. Okay, and various ministers we have, and they live and work in the capital of India, New Delhi. ठीक है, इनका residence कहाँ है? New Delhi. Now state government, each state government makes laws for the people living in that state. हर एक state होती है, जैसे हमारी state क्या है? उत्तर प्रदेश. Okay, so हमारी state, हमारी जो government है, state government है, that makes laws for the people living for us. ठीक है, हमारी state के लिए वो हमारे laws बनाते हैं. Like recent, like there is Punjab government also, UP state government also. So different states have different governments, okay, which take care of us. Right now our chief minister is Yogi Adityanath, our governor is Anandiben Patel. So in this way every state government has a different chief minister and the governor and various members of the state government. Okay, these are the members of the state government. Central and state government together look after the needs of the people of India. पूरी इंडिया को कौन संभालता है? Central and state government. Understood? Understood about central and state governments? We have learned what is government, our government in India, जिसमें parliament, government और court 3 branches थे. Then we have learned about central and state government.
Now that you have understood the structure of the Indian government, let us understand firstly the government machinery. Right? What is the background of the government machinery? There are 2 parts. One is the state legislature and second one is the legislature of Maharashtra. So what is in the state legislature? We have the members of Legislative Assembly, also known as the MLA. I'm sure you are familiar with this word. And secondly, we have the members of Legislative Council, which is the MLC. So MLA and MLC. In this legislature of Maharashtra, we have 2 houses. You all are familiar with that also. One is the Vidhan Sabha, also known as the Legislative Assembly, and second one is Vidhan Parishad, also known as the Legislative Council. Now each state has got their own Legislative Assembly and Legislative Council. For one example, we will take out of the state of Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. Now, what are the constituents of it? Now, first we see here, this is the Vidhan Bhavan, where they have the meetings. This is in Mumbai. This is a building of the Vidhan Bhavan. Now, in the winter time, they have it in Nagpur. The meeting, they have it in Nagpur. So this is the Vidhan Bhavan in Nagpur. Winter session, the meeting, they have it in Nagpur. Now let us understand this. How many seats are available in the Legislative Assembly? There are 288 seats. How many? 288 seats in the Legislative Assembly. These are the political groups. Alright. So we have one group sitting here, one group sitting here, different groups. And these are the political parties. For example, SHS. Here you can see the orange color. They have 57 members. NCP 53 members. INC 43 members. So on and so forth. According to the color, they have been seated. There are sometimes only one single member also. For example, here RSP 1 member. JSS 1 member. IND 5 members. So it depends on the strength of the party. And they sit in their groups during the meeting. Now we come to the Legislative Council. The Legislative Council meeting, they have it in Vidhan Bhavan, Mumbai. Okay. So for this, there are 78 members, out of which 66 are elected members and 12 are nominated members. Now this is the sitting arrangement is similar to the Legislative Assembly, but the people are less. There are only 78 members. And we have the SHS group over here, 14 members, NCP 10 members, INC, here you can see in blue color, 9 members, and so on and so forth. BJP 25 members, which is the highest. They have the highest number of members in the during the meeting. So this is how they have the meetings, and they have decisions, they have interactions, and they discuss about the things required to do for the state. And let's go ahead. Now we come to the lesson reading and explanation. Now in this, the points which we'll be studying about is Vidhan Sabha, Legislative Assembly, Speaker of Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, Legislative Council, Executive of Maharashtra, Governor of Maharashtra, Chief Minister and Council of Ministers. Then what are the functions of the Chief Minister? What are their works? What they do is creation of the state executive, distribution of portfolios, coordination between ministries or departments, and leader of the state. All this you will be watching in this video. I want you to listen carefully and understand it.
India has a large geographic expanse with a multicultural population. There is diversity in languages, religion, ways of life, and regional characteristics. It would not have been possible to govern from a centralized place. Therefore, my dear students, we have the Constitution which has adopted a federal setup for India. And it was decided to form the states on the basis of language. Accordingly, linguistic recognition of states took place. The nature of the government and government machinery in all states of India is same. However, Jammu and Kashmir is an exception. Let us now study the governments in the states in reference to Maharashtra. Do you know, students? India has 29 constituent states, and the state governments have the responsibility of the governance of these states. Let us know more about the state legislature and legislature of Maharashtra. State legislature, like the parliament, at the central level, every state has its own legislature. But only 7 states in India have 2 houses, that is, bicameral legislatures. Maharashtra has a bicameral legislature. The members of the state legislature are known as members of Legislative Assembly. Members of Legislative Assembly, that is MLA, MLAs, or members of Legislative Council, members of Legislative Council, that is MLC. What is all about the Legislature of Maharashtra then? As Legislature of Maharashtra has 2 houses, namely Vidhan Sabha is the Legislative Assembly and Vidhan Parishad is the Legislative Council. Very good morning, students. In our previous video, we have discussed about the background of the Indian state government. Along with that, we have also been discussed about the state legislature and legislature of Maharashtra. As it was introduced to you that legislature of Maharashtra has 2 houses, namely Vidhan Sabha, that is Legislative Assembly, and Vidhan Parishad, that is Legislative Council. Let us discuss about Vidhan Sabha, Legislative Assembly. This is the first house of Maharashtra legislature and comprises of 288 members. In case there is inadequate representation of the Anglo-Indian community, the governor nominates 1 member from this community in the Vidhan Sabha. Some seats in Vidhan Sabha are reserved for the scheduled caste, that is SCs, and scheduled tribes, that is STs. Maharashtra is divided into territorial constituencies. For what purpose? For the purpose of elections. 1 member is elected from each of the constituencies, and the tenure of Vidhan Sabha is of 5 years. How many years? 5 years. However, in exceptional circumstances, elections can be held before the completion of 5 years. And in case any citizen residing in Maharashtra and who has completed 25 years of age can contest the elections to the Vidhan Sabha. So any citizen who is residing in Maharashtra and who has completed 25 years of age can contest the elections to the Vidhan Sabha. Speaker of Vidhan Sabha. Let us know more about the Speaker of the Vidhan Sabha. The proceedings of the Vidhan Sabha are carried out under the supervision and guidance of the Speaker. The elected members of the newly constituted Vidhan Sabha elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Vidhan Sabha from amongst themselves. The Speaker has many responsibilities which range from the power to prepare the order of business, to carry out the proceedings of the House in a disciplined manner, or to suspend members for misbehavior or misconduct. And in absence of the Speaker, the responsibility is taken over by the Deputy Speaker. Here in Maharashtra's legislature, which conducts minimum 3 sessions in a year, Maharashtra's legislature conducts how many sessions? Minimum 3 sessions in a year. The budget session and the monsoon session is conducted in Mumbai. First session is the budget session, second is the monsoon session, which is conducted in Mumbai, while the third session, that is the winter session, is conducted in Nagpur. Very good morning, students. In our earlier video, we have discussed about Vidhan Sabha, all about legislative assembly and functions of the Speaker of Vidhan Sabha. Here in this video, we are going to discuss about Vidhan Parishad, that is Legislative Council, and Executive of Maharashtra, the Governor, Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers together forms the Executive of Maharashtra. Vidhan Parishad or Legislative Council. It is the second house of the Maharashtra Legislature, and members are indirectly elected from various sections of society. There are 78 members in the Vidhan Parishad of Maharashtra. Of this, some members who are distinguished personalities from the fields of literature, science and social service are nominated by the governor. Remaining representatives are elected by the members of Vidhan Sabha, local government institutions, teacher constituencies and graduate constituencies. The Vidhan Parishad is never fully dissolved. A specific number of members retire every 2 years, and these vacant seats are filled again by conducting fresh elections for those seats. The proceedings of the Vidhan Parishad are conducted under the control and guidance of the chairman. But in the absence of the chairman, the deputy chairman takes over the responsibility. Now let us discuss about the Executive of Maharashtra. The Governor, Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers together form the Executive of Maharashtra. Governor. The President is a nominal head at the center, while the Governor is the nominal head at the state level. Governor is the nominal head at the state level, and Governor is appointed by the President and holds the office during the pleasure of the President. The Governor also enjoys certain legislative powers. For example, the bills passed by the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are converted into laws only after receiving the assent of the Governor. The Governor has the right to summon the session of the state legislature. When the legislature is not in the session but the need arises to make the law, then the Governor can issue an ordinance for the same. Chief Minister and Council of Ministers. The leader of the majority party in Legislative Assembly becomes the Chief Minister. The Chief Minister includes his or her trustworthy colleagues in the Council of Ministers, like the Prime Minister, who is the executive head of the Union, that we have learned in our previous chapter. The Chief Minister is the head of the state executive. The government of the state is run in the name of the Governor, but in reality, the administration is carried out by the Chief Minister. Very good morning, students. In our earlier video, we have discussed about Legislative Council, Vidhan Parishad, and Executive of Maharashtra, under which we have been discussed about the Governor, Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers, which together forms the executive of Maharashtra. Let us discuss about the functions of the Chief Ministers. Here we are going to discuss about the 4 functions of the Chief Minister. First is creation of the state executive. After proving the majority, the Chief Minister forms his or her Council of Ministers. This is a challenging task because in order to make the council more representative, various regions and social groups like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, women and minorities have to be accommodated. If no party secures a clear majority, different parties can come together to form the government. In such case, the Chief Minister has to perform the difficult task of giving a place to all the constituent parties in the alliance. Second, distribution of portfolios. After the formation of the Council of Ministers, the Chief Minister has to distribute portfolios among the ministers. While distributing portfolios, he or she has to consider the political experience, administrative skills, awareness of public opinion, leadership qualities, etc. Third, coordination between ministries and departments. The Chief Minister, along with his Council of Ministers, are collectively responsible to the Legislative Assembly. The Chief Minister bears the ultimate responsibility of the efficient administration. Absence of cooperation and coordination between departments, which can affect the working of the government. Therefore, the Chief Minister has to resolve conflicts between departments and ensure that they work towards the same goal and in the same direction. Fourth one, leader of the state. Just as the Prime Minister leads the country, the Chief Minister leads the state. The Chief Minister has to make new policies by taking note of problems and concerns of people and work towards the welfare of the people of the state. The people took an Chief Minister or the head of the state as a problem solver. The Chief Minister intervenes in issues facing the state and comforts the people. Maharashtra is one of the progressive states in India. The state leads in sectors like education, industry, service sector, health and social security. Terror attacks and Naxalites movement active in certain regions are the 2 major challenges facing the state of Maharashtra. So here we have been discussed about the 4 important functions of the Chief Minister, that is creation of the state executive, distribution of portfolios, coordination between ministries or departments and leader of the state.
So students, you have now completed watching the lesson and I hope you have understood the lesson very well. Now here's an informational activity for you called as current state ministers. Here below are the chief ministers in India of 2022. You have to observe all these chief ministers which I will be reading out to you and then you will answer some questions. Alright? So let's go ahead. Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, Andhra Pradesh. Pema Kandu, Arunachal Pradesh. Himanta Biswa Sarma, Assam. Nitish Kumar, Bihar. Bhupesh Baghel, Chhattisgarh. Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi. Pramod Sawant, Goa. Bhupendra Bhai Patel, Gujarat. Manohar Lal Khattar, Haryana. Jairam Thakur, Himachal Pradesh. Hemant Soren, Jharkhand, Pinarayi Vijayan, Kerala, Basavaraj Bommai, Karnataka, Uddhav Thackeray, Maharashtra, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Madhya Pradesh, N. Biren Singh, Manipur, Conrad Sangma, Meghalaya, Zoramthanga, Mizoram, Neiphiu Rio, Nagaland, Naveen Patnaik, Odisha, V. Narayan Swamy, Puducherry, Charanjit Singh Channi, Punjab, Ashok Gehlot, Rajasthan, Prem Singh Tamang, Sikkim, M. K. Stalin, Tamil Nadu, Chandrasekhar Rao, Telangana, Biplab Kumar Deb, Tripura, Pushkar Singh Dhami, Uttarakhand, Yogi Adityanath, Uttar Pradesh, and finally Mamata Banerjee of West Bengal. Now you have listened and seen all the photos of the chief ministers in India. Okay, now you have to tell me which is the chief minister of your state. I want to write it down. Which is chief minister of your state? Secondly, can you spot the new 6 chief ministers that are updated in this list? In this list there are 6 chief ministers which I have already updated. You have to spot which are the ones. Alright? Okay children, this is the end of this lesson. Thank you.